I personally enjoy cooking quite a bit. I think of myself as a pretty good chef.
Do we get points off for not being calm and collected?
I am not afraid of a big mess. They're gonna like what I give them, and that's what I'll tell you.
Oh. Hello everyone, and welcome to the first Mustache Cash Stash Cooking Games. Today we have our contestants Hudson, Katrina, Nick, and McKay. I'm your host Joe, and I'll be telling you how we're gonna go in with this. For the first round, you'll have 25 minutes to cook, $25 to spend, and 10 items that you can buy. To receive the prompt, imagine this scenario. You've just invented a time machine. You go back in time, you step out, and suddenly you're captured by cavemen. These cavemen, they torture you. They hold you over a fire and tickle your feet. And the only thing you can do to save yourself is make them a meal. What would you make for a caveman? Here, I asked the chefs to pick a number between 1 and 5, and then unveiled what they had actually selected. These are things you must include. So Katrina, you pick 3.
Lemon pepper seasoning, hell
Nick,
yeah.
you pick 4. Michaela, you pick 5. Hudson, you pick 2.
Oh
Hudson,
no!
pick 2.
Oh,
All right, everybody, announce what you got.
Can we make the habanero?
Got cinnamon toast crunch, Cinnadust, seasoning blend.
I got lemon and pepper seasoning.
I got everything bagel seasoning.
Creole seasoning. Pepper.
So you must include that in your dish. Finally, it's time. With 25 minutes on the clock, the chefs began cooking. Okay, cut. This is probably better. Let's hear a little bit about Chef Katrina.
So my name is Katrina. I really like to cook, but I also really like to bake. Got my King Arthur flower hat right here. I'm actually in culinary school, and I'm quite, confident in my cooking abilities. Baking is a little bit better, but I'm gonna try my best to prepare meat. I don't eat meat, so we're gonna try it.
Hudson, do you think cavemen like potatoes?
Yes.
Nick, you don't seem to have any potatoes. Do you think cavemen don't like potatoes?
They might like potatoes, but they're gonna like what I give them, and that's what I'll tell you.
Oh, okay.
Whoa! It 100% doesn't. That was debunked.
Is it a myth that it boils faster with the lid closed? As the chefs began conversing, I decided to step in and ask some questions of my own.
Chef Nick, what are we doing here? So currently I'm dicing up some onions. I plan to put them in my meatball mix. I'm hoping to throw that in the oven real quick here.
Enter Chef Nick.
So I'm Nick. You probably know me from MCS News, in pretty much every video on the channel. But additionally, cooking is something that I enjoy. I like to think I'm pretty decent at it. Recently, I came upon a handful of food sensitivities, so I've been mixing and matching different ingredients lately, trying to avoid all of these different things. So that's why you'll see some of that in my cooking today. My experience, I would say, is intermediate, but I like to try all sorts of dishes, and it's just something that I enjoy.
That's good. You got 2020 on the clock. Chef Katrina.
Right now I'm actually that's raw garlic. Right now I'm currently browning and lightly caramelizing onions. I don't have the time. Where's the water, please?
Chef Michaela seems to be preparing something to go on the grill.
Oh, really? Did you ask for purple garlic?
Chef Hudson.
I asked for
What are you
lots of
doing,
things. I got none
I'm
of them.
currently cooking straight in the pan, so I can put my potatoes in there.
It's a good choice, Chef Hudson. Chef Maury, do you have anything down? Let's hear about Chef Hudson.
I'm Hudson. I'm a good friend of Nick and Joe's and Katrina's. I'm here because I like to cook. I don't do that often, but I wanted to do more cooking, so this is good time for me to try my skills.
Now let's hear what some of the other judges have to say.
Oh, it looks like over there, what is that? What do I see? Is that Chef Nick?
Looks to be like
Is he making meatballs? Or, yeah, that's what I'd say, meatballs.
Yeah. If he doesn't get the consistency right, it might ruin his whole dish.
It could ruin his career as well, actually.
Chef Hudson!
Oh, that ham bacon tray seems like a weird alternative compared to butter.
So you got some sugar snap peas?
Yes.
Oh, those look tasty. Cut those too fine, I don't think it'll spell anything good for your dish.
I think you might want to watch your use of ham spray over traditional butter.
Did you ask me why?
You might want to watch it. I don't know.
I'm more used to the spray.
Well, I sure am excited to try this dish.
Mind if I try some right now?
Go ahead.
Oh, and how is that?
The smell from Katrina's garlic is heavenly.
The flavor of the snack peas can really be tasted.
Can really be tasted, I agree.
Some shucking garlic.
Peeling garlic?
Ooh, if you add too much garlic to your recipe, it might mess up the whole dish.
Might mess up your career as well. Sure would be a shame.
Is this the worst decision she's ever made? Let's find out later.
And the absence of that steak isn't helping her at all.
She really messed up leaving that steak at the store.
If I were her, I would have included steak in my recipe.
Yeah, that's true.
I think mushrooms would have gone nicely as well.
Oh, mushrooms, yeah, there's surely.
Well, you win some, you lose some.
I requested steak from the store.
Previously.
I got mushrooms, beef broth, butter, heavy cream, garlic, chives, potato, steak.
Guys, there's no steak.
Bad news, guys.
No steak.
Steakless steak.
I don't know why it's not there.
I think you have steak.
Somebody forgot the steak.
And I ended up with none.
Okay, I'm behind you.
And I improvised. I found some delicious looking kielbasa for him. And you'll be seeing it soon.
16 minutes and 30 seconds remaining, fellas.
16 minutes and 30 seconds? Good. All right.
Are we all on track? Does everyone have their meat cooking at least?
The meatballs look awfully uncooked for being 16 minutes in.
Don't worry, I'm rolling the meatballs extra small so that they should be able to cook in a reduced amount of time.
That's perfect.
Here, let me try one.
Ground turkey, not ground beef. You can eat it raw as much as you want.
You're right, because poultry is even better for you than raw.
Going in!
Pardon me.
I got it.
So, Chef Katrina, how do you plan on incorporating this habanero into your dish?
Well, it is quite spicy, so I was just thinking about actually incorporating not the seeds, but just the pepper itself, because the spice, comes from the seeds. So I was gonna saute it up with my potatoes.
So you're just gonna waste the seeds?
Well, you want it to be like really, really spicy.
Yeah,
You want it to be spicy.
but it's up to the chef to decide.
Oh, that's correct. Woo, look at this. We got a little something action here. Sauteing it.
Hudson, how do you plan to make use of your cinnamon toast crunch seasoning in your dish?
You'll see.
Oh, I'm excited.
I look forward to it.
Do all the chefs have their spices and plan to incorporate them? Oh, Michaela adding a little Tony's Creole seasoning to whatever that is. Oh, the potatoes aren't boiling. The meat's not cooking.
Pardon me? That series, Cooking Games, Part 1.
He's putting his seasoning in the meatballs.
That's a really
That sounds really good.
That's a really good use of his mystery ingredient.
All seemed well and good, but time was winding down.
Chefs, 10 minutes left on the clock.
Could these chefs make it in time? I thought I'd find out. Do you think you're gonna have enough time?
I'm not worried. I think I'm going to be able to finish in time, though it might be close.
Do you think you're gonna have enough time?
No,
There's only like 9 minutes.
I was say because the bottom oven wasn't preheated.
No, that's...
So no.
Hudson, do you think you're gonna have enough time?
No.
Okay. To combat this, some chefs got particularly inventive. Chef Nick is moving to the second stove. He's got collard greens in hand. How graceful. Start cooking, chef.
I gotta simmer these greens or I'm gonna be in big trouble.
He couldn't have been more right. It appears all three of the other chefs are huddled around one stove. Because that's when tensions started to mount.
You guys are eating the meat.
Hudson, this tastes very good.
That's good, that's good.
Spoiling it for yourself.
Now, Chef Hudson, what do we got going here?
Hudson, can I have my burner back? Thank you.
Chef Hudson, what do we got going here?
Putting all my great stuff together.
Okay, all right. I like it.
Downstairs? Dog. Can you bring this
Katrina,
up?
look, buddy. The other ones that used all the food. Out of the way! Out of the way! Out of the way!
Do we get points off for not being calm and collected?
No.
Katrina, you keep on making your oil spurt at me. Your pan's in front of mine.
Well, if your pan had any oil, you know, it would add spray too, but your stuff is just burning in the pan.
Chef Nick has returned.
Nick, your food's probably burning down there.
No, it's good.
No, it's burning.
Those collard greens are simmering.
I got time. I got time. I got time.
How could they carry on?
Just the amount.
Grab Ron's place.
That's my lemon and pepper. My balsamic.
Whoa!
Chef Nick, down and away. Uh-oh, Chef Michaela and Katrina are boiling over.
To be fair, McKay was watching the potatoes.
Judge Aiden decided to get to the bottom of it.
What are you doing right now, Chef Katrina?
I'm frying my cod, and I'm letting it rest so then I can add the habanero edition, just as the bonus. Even though, I'll put it back in the pan when it's done for the lemon and pepper, because if I put it on right now, it'll just burn the seed potato.
Chef Hudson, what are you doing right now?
They're almost done now.
Putting in a special ingredient.
Oh, please go ahead.
Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Oh, Jesus, I can't believe you have to do that.
What a bold addition.
Are you making mashed potatoes? Yeah, so you need your very, very tender. Oh,
Oh, move that pan for a second, please.
I don't need mine like,
Okay, so we need to fish these out then.
we need a strainer.
Here.
Oh, look at all that spillover. They're surely gonna get negative points for that.
I don't know what these gals are doing, but there's stuff all over the kitchen.
So do you think the cinnamon toast crunch will help caramelize your ham?
Yes.
Chef Nick, what are you up to?
I'm just about ready to take these collard greens off. I think I gotta run upstairs. I gotta check on the meatballs, make sure they're in good shape, and then I'm gonna start plating.
Do you think you're at a disadvantage now that you have to use the burners down here?
I won't lie to you, I think that it really threw me off having to come all the way to the second floor. It's wasted a lot of time going up and down, but I think I've really adapted very well.
Chef Nick's using a microwave.
Of course, due to the lack of burners, I had to heat up the sauce some way. This was my best way.
That's okay.
Well, best be checking on those meatballs soon. They might be getting toasty.
How's the timer doing?
Oh!
Did you check on those meatballs? The door!
yo, hot pan.
Hot pan.
Hot pan.
Hot pan!
No one touch it.
Just now, the chefs started making their final adjustments.
So Hudson's starting to plate right now as we speak. Do you have any ideas for presentation or how you're gonna plate it?
Somewhat. I think he's got it down. I have a lot of faith in Chef Hudson.
So in
What's happened to the paper plates? Really big.
Now,
making a habanero garlic balsamic reduction to put on top of the hat.
I was figuring we'd do it again.
That sounds really fancy.
Yeah, I'm trying.
Looks like Sir Nick has started to plate already.
I have indeed. I gotta get these collard greens plated. Because I have a garnish. I'm gonna garnish them with a little bit of lemon juice. And I'm gonna utilize this everything bagel.
They never expected their worst nightmares to set in here. Chef, final 3 minutes! Finish your plating!
3 minutes?
3 minutes remaining.
Finish your plating! Their actions here would separate the good dishes from the great dishes. Watching here, we couldn't be sure how the chefs were doing, but it was almost time to wrap up cooking. 1 minute, chefs! I hope you're getting plated. 1 minute, chefs. Chefs, get moving.
Who knows if they'll make it in time?
If they don't get plated, that'll spell the end of them. That's all we have. Before we move on to the grading section of the show, let's hear what the judges are thinking right now.
Well, I think currently a lot of strong dishes being put out right now.
Yeah, I think
And
the
it's really
Haddock and Hudson's dish are looking pretty well so far.
Yeah, I agree. Nick's collard greens look pretty good as well.
They do. I think
Just
the way
gotta
he's
cook the
implementing
white.
that bagel seasoning and putting in meatballs is pretty spectacular.
That's true.
I'm excited to see how that turns out.
Yeah, I feel like all of them got like proper seasonings for the dishes they were making.
Yep.
So that worked out quite well.
I'm excited to see Hudson's cinnamon toast crunch spice on his dish.
That's true. That will really make or break his dish because if it's overly sweet,
Yeah,
it might be bad.
I'm also looking forward to the spice in Katrina's habanero. That's exciting.
First up is Chef McKay's dish.
So the dish that we have here, we have some mashed potatoes, roasted garlic, spring onion, then a grill-seared kielbasa topped with a Creole sauce that I made from scratch.
We've come to a score here. Chef Aiden, if you'd like to explain the first one.
Well, the first one is how well you followed the prompt. And we think if we were cavemen and you time traveled back to give us this dish, it would give you a 4 out of 5.
The next prompt is plating. You're the only one I noticed that actually took the time to clean up their plate and make it look really nice. So for that, we're giving you a 5 out of 5.
The next prompt was taste. It was salted perfectly. It was seasoned well. It really sent you to Flavor Town, which I think is exactly what a caveman would want as well. It's 5 out of 5.
Well, considering the last prompt, creativity, I would give you quite a high score because originally we know you had planned to use steak, but somehow that got lost along the way, so you had to improvise right then and there. So for that reason, we would give you
4 out of 5.
That brings your total score to 18 out of 20.
Thank you.
Excellent
Thank you very
score.
much.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
It was
Thank you.
delicious.
Next up is Chef Hudson's dish.
Now it is cup potatoes and fried almost in a way. It has some pea pods that were cooked also in it, and some cucumbers as well as the ham steak. And I used oregano, and I also used the cinnamon toast crunch. Finally, I used some salt and pepper. And then I topped it with a little smiley face, if you guys didn't get to see it, but it was with 2 cucumber eyes and a smile of ham steak on there.
Thank you, Hudson.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Thank you. We'll discuss your score. You can exit. Chef Hudson!
Chef Hudson!
Chef Hudson!
So for the prompt, I think if I was a caveman, the cinnamon toast flavor would really just send me into a whole another level of flavor. And for that reason, I think we're going to give you a 4.
So for creativity, Hudson, we are going to give you a 3. I like it. I think it was good. Yeah. It was rather straightforward, and that's fine. So that's a 3.
Yep. I thought taste-wise it was seasoned very well. I liked the way that the ham was cooked. However, I just couldn't get past the raw cucumbers being over the already cooked foods. Same with the ham. I don't know, it just kind of threw me off, and I'd say it's 3 out of 5 for that.
And lastly, for presentation, I'd say you got a solid 4 out of 5 because of that aforementioned smiley face.
Smiley
Really,
face.
As well as the 2 forks.
The 2 forks. I like that. I was able to eat fast. Sure. So that gives you a total of 14 points, Hudson.
I'll take
Thank you, Chef
Thank you,
Hudson.
Chef Hudson.
Thank you very much, Chef Hudson.
Now on to Chef Nick's dish.
So what I prepared today is I prepared meatballs made of ground turkey. In the mixture, I obviously incorporated the everything bagel seasoning that I was given. I also used this seasoning to garnish at the end on both the meatballs and the collard greens that I prepared as a side.
Thank you, Chef Nick.
Thank you, Chef Nick. We're bringing in momentarily.
Chef Nick!
Thumbs.
Yep.
So just
Chef?
Well, I'd like to start off with how well you followed the prompt, and considering that everything bagels are one of the modern wonders of the world, I'd say this earns you just quite clearly a 5. Along with the meatballs, it's just a really good choice to give a caveman.
Thank you, Judge. I appreciate that. I really do.
All right, for taste, we have a bit of a disagreement, but ultimately, we've settled on a 4. So, my fellow judges here, they weren't a fan of the sweet taste of the collard green. They mentioned the toughness of the meatballs, but I would dispel that due to the cooking conditions. I would say I liked it. I liked the collard greens a lot, and I really liked how it tastes. I think the everything bagel seasoning incorporation was very good into the meatball.
Thank you.
So for that, we're gonna give you a 4. Yeah.
Creativity-wise, it was fairly creative. Using the everything bagel seasoning in the meatballs was, I guess, an easy way to use it. However, I feel that it was a good call on your part, and so we're going to give you a 4 out of 5 on creativity.
Thank you, Judge.
And lastly, for presentation, while I did like the contrasting colors, so the bright green and the nice red sauce, we are going to have to dock a point because there was, frankly, too much sauce on there.
Oh, interesting.
And we would have preferred a little less because at the end, I think all of us were left with a little too much. So for that reason, we're going to give you a 4.
Okay.
So in total, that brings you to a 17.
I understand. Thank you very much, Judges. Thank you for your time. I hope you enjoyed.
Thank you, Chef Nick.
It was delicious.
Last but not least, Chef Katrina's dish.
So you have a sweet habanero reduction on top of some fried haddock.
It's too hot, I can't eat it.
Well, you want it to be like really, really spicy?
Yeah.
With some double baked potatoes and a sweet apple salad over mixed greens. So I got the lemon pepper seasoning and I sprinkled some over the potatoes and just a tad over the haddock because I thought all the flavor was in the reduction. So
Thank you, Chef.
Thank you, Chef.
It's a very
Thank you.
sour lemon.
Chef Katrina. We think overall this is an excellently prepared meal. We're going to go through and tell what you got on each category. And if you'd like to start.
I think for the prompt, unfortunately, there's only one choice, and that's a 5 out of 5 because it follows all the basics of a good meal and just the balance between the habanero, the fish, and even that sweet salad. Just that would blow a caveman's mind.
Okay, next would be creativity. It's got to be a 5 out of 5.
thank you.
Very creative. You're the only one who have presented us with 3 items here: the fish, the potatoes, and the salad. And I think that was as well as the lemon. And I think incorporating your seasoning into it was done very well.
Thank you.
Your 2 seasonings, using the habanero in the reduction, was an excellent choice.
I believe the taste in this dish was very. I liked it. Chef Aiden here thinks that the fish was a little overcooked.
Okay.
Personally, I disagree, but we did have a chef dispute, and we would have to bring your grade down to a 4 out of 5.
Okay, I understand.
Otherwise, delicious dish.
I'd like to note that the pairing between the spicy on the fish, like the hot, and the sweet in the salad is excellent, and the neutral of the potatoes, very good.
For presentation, easy 5.
Thank you.
The balance between, again, just the different colors and it was well plated. Just not much else to say.
Beautiful.
It was
Stunning.
really excellent.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
That brings you to a total of 19. Thank you, Chef Katrina.
Thank you, chefs.
And now, for some final interviews before we reveal the winner to the group.
So I feel like the judges overall seem to enjoy the dish, so that makes me happy. I think that one of the complaints was that there was too much sauce, which I guess is just it's a preferential thing. I couldn't have known, but in the future I'll go a little lighter and let the dish speak for itself. As far as the meatballs and the collard greens by themselves, I'd never made any of those dishes with that recipe before. I made them both up on the spot, so I was really just using my intuition and hoping for the best, and I think that generally it came out pretty well. So I mean, I can't complain about a score of a 17. I feel like I said, the judges seemed to enjoy it. I was happy that I got the theme points because I felt like I had earned those. And what can you say? I did my best.
Overall, I was pleasantly surprised. I came in, I had a couple of bumps here and there with my oven not being preheated, but the potatoes really pushed through, and I was pretty confident in giving the judges a little bit of each. They got their salad, the starches from the potatoes, and the protein from the fish. And I also was pretty thrilled with how I was able to keep it into what a caveman would have actually found during caveman times. So overall, I'm quite happy with my score. I thought it was a little bit more than what I deserved, but I'll take it.
I think I scored actually better than I thought I was gonna, which is thankful. Besides the fact that the raw cucumber and the ham was a bad choice for making the presentation better. Yeah.
Okay.
And I also think that Noah's a corrupt judge.
Whoa, you can't say that. Whoa.
How do I feel about my score? You know, I feel like I went through a lot of ups and downs, and then I made the most of what I had.
And now, the reveal.
We have all 4 chefs here, one in spirit.
Does it also be a FaceTime, not really just in spirit?
Yeah, it'd be a FaceTime if you could see.
Whatever.
So chefs, we're gonna go over your scores. We'll start at the lowest and we'll work up, unfortunately. So Chef Hudson, you did end up finishing with a 14 out of 20. That's still a good score, Chef Hudson. I would not be sad with that. Go home, hone your craft. It's good.
Thank you.
Next, Chef Nick. Chef Nick, you were a wild card, Chef Nick, but you had a good score, definitely a good score at the end. You finished with a 17 out of 20. I think that's a respectable score. So for the final one here, one of them was very close. One of them was 18 out of 20, and one of them was 19 out of 20. And here's the deal. It was Katrina the winner. Katrina wins. Okay, you got it 18 out of 20. Katrina got 19 out of 20. Yay! Celebrate! Yay! As a culinary student, we expected good things out of you, and you really performed. It was really an excellent meal.
Thank you, Judge Joe.
And the reward is the cake that you baked for the show. So here's this, and additionally, here's 50 bucks.
Oh, no
on
fucking
Starbucks
way!
gift card.
That's actually legit.
God damn it.
Fuck you. Fuck you. And also, this cake I baked for the winner, but we're all winners, so we all get the cake.
Yay! People!
Katrina.
Thank you for watching the MCS Cooking Games show, and congratulations to Katrina for winning. Let's give a round of applause for her.
Thank you.
And don't forget,
Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed. It would really help us out.
I know you're hungry, but stop eating the ham that Chef Hudson has provided.
Hey, can I be in a frame?
No.
Michaela is using toilet paper to wipe her food. You were really literally making shit food now. Shit dish.
Toilet paper.
Why would you grab toilet paper, man?
Match made in heaven.
I'm currently in the restroom. I just took a piss.
Well, yeah, obviously I'm not going to admit that we, the judges, messed up her steak.
No!
Nick is getting out of hand. We might have to dock him.
Okay.
-2 points for Chef Nick.
Chef Nick, -2 points. That's what I say! That's what it's 20! So we have all 4 chefs.
Chef Buzz.
And then
How about a cool catchphrase like "Holla Baguluga"?